What's up, guys? So this is part 2 of reviving my 99 Tahoe. Last time we left off realizing that the tank wasn't going to be very easy to clean while it's still in the truck. So right now we're going to pick up where we left off and drop the tank. So let's get into that. So I'm finding it really difficult to clean out the tank completely with all the gunk in there with it in the vehicle. So it doesn't have any gas in it, so it's not going to be heavy. So I'm just going to drop the tank, spray it out, make sure everything's cleaned out in there, drain it, and then I'll put it back in and get the pump in. Put a little gas in it, see if it'll start. So I also had it up on this jack because there's ribs in the tank. I was trying to get some of the water to flow toward the center of the tank so I could clean it up. It worked well, but not good enough. But while it was up, I installed the center cap on this one wheel. Still got 3 more to go, but it really does make a big difference. I think it looks a lot better like this. So I've got the fuel tank cleaned out now. The new fuel pump is wired up. I just have to get a lighter on it to get the sealant to come out of the crimping connections. I still have to install the fuel filter, and I think I'm gonna have to take the fuel lines out of the engine bay again, which I'm not looking forward to because that's not a fun job, but I want to blow some air through the fuel lines just to make sure there's nothing in there, make sure I'm not gonna have any problems. But fuel tank's outside drying right now. Hopefully tonight I'll be able to get the truck started. We'll see.
Baby, slide, slide. I've been thinking about your love tonight.
So I thought I had recorded installing the new fuel filter, but I guess I hadn't. You're really not missing much. It's super simple. Just pull off the old one and put the new one on. So I did remove the fuel lines going to the intake, and I blew them with compressed air to make sure there's no debris or rust or anything in there left. So that's good. So at this point, everything is back together and I filled it with gas and we're getting ready to start it. So I tried cranking it maybe 3 or 4 times and I just stopped recording because I didn't want to use up my storage space. And of course, right as I stopped recording, the very next time I cranked it up, it started right up. I think it just needed to get fuel up to the injectors just to get it started. So that's why there's that hard cut from cranking into the truck running, but it's running perfectly. So last night I got the Tahoe running and it's actually running really, really well. A little bit of what I did today, I pretty much just kind of ran around driving it all over the place, but I noticed that on the driver's side, the torsion bar key was a little less tightened than on the passenger side, so I evened that out and I got it riding just about level now. Now that I'm seeing it, I think the front could likely go up a little bit more, but maybe not. Let me know in the comments. But it's riding really well. There's a couple small issues I gotta take care of now. It feels like one of the brake calipers is stuck, so I'm gonna get on that tonight. And the steering is really vague, really loose. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get a chance to get into that while I'm home this time, but we'll see what I can do. So I decided not to do the brakes tonight, not because I don't want to, but because I actually can't. Instead, I got these end links installed, but the reason I can't do the brakes tonight is because of these right here. I need Allen key sockets, which I don't have. I have some in my storage unit, but they closed at 9, and for some reason, the storage unit won't let me go get anything out of it past 9 p.m. AutoZone O'Reilly's is all closed, so I'm just gonna have to wait for another day. But hopefully the end links will make a bit of an improvement. I'll show you the other side because it was in a really bad condition. So this is what the end links looked like before. The rubber is completely gone. There's nothing left. So yeah, terrible condition. back and forth on these end links, they were kind of driving me crazy. I had been up for probably 20 hours at that point, and I was just super tired and wasn't thinking straight. I installed them wrong the first time, and then I was just having struggle after struggle getting them on, but eventually I got them on, and I could feel a slight difference. At least I didn't have the rattling of the washers. Every time I hit a bump, rattle, 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 completely gone. So pretty much after I got the truck running, I didn't record all that much because I was just enjoying it, honestly. It was really nice working for like 3 or 4 days straight trying to get it running. And it was just really nice to have it running and be able to drive it around and enjoy it. But there are a few things that I didn't record. I was invited to a car meet, or I guess it wasn't really a meet, it was just a meetup of some of my friends at Keller's in Dallas, and I wanted to get my new radiator installed. So in about 30-45 minutes, I pulled out the old radiator and installed the new one, but I don't think that I got the transmission cooler lines tightened enough, and driving up to Keller's, no issue. No issue at all. But on the way back on 35 in a little convoy with my friends, I started leaking coolant, and I got a call from my friend Micah, and we had to pull over. It was on an off-ramp, but right in the middle between the highway and the off-ramp. And we realized that my lower radiator hose that's right under my transmission lines had popped off. I had just assumed, oh, maybe I didn't tighten it enough. Maybe that was the issue. We luckily had just enough water to keep the engine running cool to get to a gas station, and we just filled it up with coolant. Everything was fine. And then it was either the next day or the day after that, but I took a drive on the Texas Traverse, which is like a overlanding trail across parts of North Texas, and it was running perfectly for 6-7 hours. I was just driving on these old dirt roads and through farmland. A lot of fun. And near the end, I started realizing that I wasn't accelerating very well, and I was having issues keeping speed, and I stopped. I looked on my phone, and I had thought that I was having map sensor issues, but I got to a point where it just wouldn't accelerate at all, hardly, and I couldn't get above maybe 45 miles an hour, and I was like, all right, something's wrong. So I pull over, and I'm not even thinking transmission at this point, and I'm looking and I'm like, what is going on? And I find a forum post from like 10 years ago that says these issues are caused by the transmission running low. And I'm like, oh, great. So I checked transmission fluid, and it's completely dry, and it's about 15-20 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to get a tow. Luckily, I called my parents, and they were able to bring me a couple gallons of transmission fluid and the tools that I need, because I had tools in the truck, but I didn't have the tools that I needed. I needed a couple special sizes that I didn't have. So they brought them to me, and it's probably 10 p.m. and temperature's gone down to about 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Absolutely freezing. I pull the drain plug on the transmission pan and nothing comes out. So I had done that just to see if there was any debris or anything. So I'm right now thinking I'm gonna have to get a tow, because there's no reason that my transmission survived this. So I went ahead and did it. I filled up the transmission, and very, very luckily, I was able to continue driving it and haven't had an issue since. I checked, there's no debris in the transmission pan. I guess I just got super lucky. Like, that didn't cause any serious issues. But that is what caused the lower radiator hose to pop off, is because it was leaking out of those transmission lines going into the radiator. I tightened those up, but those were leaking straight onto the lower radiator hose, and it was making it super greasy down there, and it just popped right off. But it was running just fine after that, and I haven't had an issue since. I really wish that I had gotten some more videos driving around on those old trails. I got a couple videos here and there. I didn't get much, but I got some decent stuff. I'm not gonna say it's wheeling, it's not. Just driving off-road. So I'll show you those videos now, and hopefully next time when I'm home for good, I'll be able to actually get out on some trails and get some real good video for y'all that's not just a couple clips here and there from different locations. So here it is. As always, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate all of you. If there's anything y'all want to see, I know I keep saying it, but if there's anything you want to see, let me know in the comments and I'll try to get it done. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.